Hi guys, my name is Maimuna. I am a South Asian brown woman who lives with in-laws, and today I'm going to react to Brooklyn Beckham's statement he made on social media about his family and his wife. I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Ooh, this does not sound like it's heading in a good direction. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed. Your parents are selling lies. What kind of parents sell lies to tabloids about their own children? Like, I'm sorry, but these tabloids like The Sun and Metro, everybody knows they are false. Nobody believes anything they read on them anyways. It's not just celebs that can sell a story. Anyone can. I could wake up tomorrow and go to The Sun and sell a story about my in-laws and they would publish it. Like, I've seen stories being published about random people. I don't want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. It's kind of giving like I've been raised by narcissist vibes, because he seems like the type of person whom his family have controlled his entire life and this is his only chance now to like speak up. My entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into. This guy is famous and has money because of his parents. His parents are the reason he's living the life he's living today. If it wasn't for his family, his wife would not look at him twice. Like, she would not even give him a chance. The whole reason he's married to a billionaire woman today is because of his family. Their job, unfortunately, when you're a famous person, your main way to make money is to stay relevant. Being in touch with the press and journalists and all of that is just part of the job. It's inauthentic and it's performative, but that is how they make their money. Recently, I have seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people, to preserve their own facade. Showbiz. That's how it works. You don't like it, you don't agree with it, but then again, you are old enough to say no and step out of it. Parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom cancelled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Damn, that's messy. I wonder what went on that caused this to happen. Like, what kind of monster-in-law would just like cancel on your wedding dress? But like, a mother-in-law ruining her daughter-in-law's wedding is so common. Like, nearly every girl has had that happen to them. It sometimes not even the mother-in-law, sometimes it's just the in-laws. It's like in-laws feel like they need to make a statement at your wedding that they don't like you, and the first way to do it is always with clothing. Weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. Something has happened, maybe something to do with you or your wife, where they don't want you to be associated with that name anymore, and that's really concerning. If that happened with me and my family, I would be on a plane to London or wherever my family lives and try to sort this out. Something has happened between you, your mom, and your wife. That's really sad, and I feel really bad for you, but at the same time, like, it's your mom, and no mother would ever make such a decision like that unless you did something really bad to her that made her feel that way. There's more to this story. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. So he was meant to sign away his rights before his wedding day. But my holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. So he held out from it, and it seemed to affect something financially with them, and now they're done being civil with him. During the wedding planning, my mum went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny Sandra and Nicola's nanny at our table because they both didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. Okay, now you should sit with your parents at the table as a sign of respect. Both parents should be there, the son's parents and the daughter's parents. But, you know, they instead chose to sit with their nannies. Maybe it's like a nepo baby thing. Maybe their nannies are like their mothers because their mothers never were fully there for them. Like these rich celebs, they raise their kids with nannies, obviously. So like, can you blame them if they'd rather have their nannies around them as opposed to their parents. Like if you raised your kid with nannies, then like you gotta accept the nanny has a place in your son's heart, maybe a bigger place than you did, I don't know. The night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. The night before your wedding? Oh my god, it feels like your family really don't want you to marry her. Like, damn. This is his choice. He can marry who he wants to, but the extents these people are going to make sure that he doesn't get married to her, it's crazy. I wonder why. Like, what is wrong with her? His whole family just doesn't want him to marry her. Did she like sacrifice one of their dogs to the Illuminati or something? I don't know. Since the moment I started standing up for myself with my family, I've received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, that were sent to the press on their orders. It's so messy. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of going against your family, so obviously they're gonna block you. Nobody even knows why. What did your wife do? Like, that makes your whole family just hate you now. My mum hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance, to a romantic love song in front of 500 wedding guests. Mark Anthony called me to the stage where in the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, but instead my mum was waiting to dance with me instead. Oh my god. Ew. Talk about emotional incest. Like, bro, you did not have to put that in there. You could have kept that. Some things are better left unsaid. But you know what, again, bro, you can say no. If Anthony whatever is calling you over to dance with your mom and you don't want to because it's you and your wife's dance, just step to the side and tell your brother, tell somebody to call your mom and have a discussion behind closed doors about how you don't want this to happen. Like, you equally participated in this. It takes two to tango. You can't just participate in a dance that you didn't want to participate in and then come on social media telling everybody that you were forced to do it. Like, I'm sorry, we need to take responsibility. We need to say no, okay? Even your wife, she's probably looking at you like you're crazy. Why are you not saying no? You know, this is your fault. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. Bro, like I said, some things need to be left unsaid. I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life. It's your mom. Like, don't say that about your mom. She changed your flipping nappies and potty trained you, and you put her through some very uncomfortable and humiliating situations too, and you don't know, and you won't know until you have a kid. But have some sympathy. Like, when people who aren't brown have problems with in-laws, it just makes me laugh. Like, it's like you're not living with them. You see them like once or twice a year. You can kind of get along for the sake of it, but like, this is towards his wife. But I mean, this whole issue is nothing to do with his wife. It's actually got everything to do with him. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that bring us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. So now, because of that one thing, you couldn't say no to your mom and you didn't want to dance with her, you have to redo your whole wedding. My mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both uncomfortable. Yeah, your mom does not like your wife at all. It's not even just a minor dislike. I think it's like a full-blown hate, and maybe even a full-blown do not marry this B type of thing. I mean, inviting women from your past is just a no-go. Like, but then again, it makes me think, what did she do that has made your mom react in such a way that your mom is actually bringing up like your exes? Your mom probably liked your exes more than she does this girl, and it's really weird because when you like look up this actress or whatever, Nicola, she doesn't seem to be a bad person. Like, she comes across really nice and really kind. So it's just really weird. Like, I wonder what it is about her that his whole family hate her for. Despite this, we still traveled to London for my dad's birthday and were rejected for a week as we waited in our hotel room trying to plan quality time with him. So all this happened. You married a woman your mom didn't want you to. You didn't give up your name, and now you want to come over and spend quality time. He refused all of our attempts unless it was at his big birthday party with 100 guests and cameras at every corner. He probably doesn't want to talk to you, and you know, if you do come, it's mainly to make people think that everything's fine. So yeah, your family basically doesn't want anything to do with you. They probably cut you off, and now you feel really hurt about it because you married a woman they disagreed with. Yeah, I just don't know why your mom doesn't accept your wife. I just don't know why. Like, what did she do? When he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited. Damn. They really don't. Even your dad doesn't like her. Damn. Later, when my family travels to LA, they refuse to see me at all. It seems like they are seeing something he's not seeing. And you know, he seems like the type that's blinded by love. Even his dad was like that. And he has like 70 or 700 tattoos of his wife on his whole body. So yeah, he's literally obsessed with his wife. And I mean, if it's that bad, your obsession, your love is that much where you have to cut your whole family off, then, you know, I don't know if that's a healthy thing, because your family will be there for you no matter what. But you know, you never know, this wife of yours, she may pick her family over you one day. You never know. You know, you're making a big sacrifice here, bro. My family values public promotion and endorsements above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media, or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo op, even if that's at the expense of our professional obligations. Well, that is their job, and if they're paying you, which I bet you that they are, then that is your job too. And at the expense of our professional obligations, bro, what do you even do? Like, what's your job? As far as I know, it seems like you're in the family Beckham business. What do you do outside of that? Other than being the sugar baby of a billionaire wife, you know? Like, it seems like you really don't have any professional obligations. And like, putting that in there is so tone deaf, because it makes you seem like a really tone deaf nepo baby. There's people out there that actually work and have professional obligations. So the fact that you don't even want to help your family and they pay you and they fund your lifestyle, you know, you just want free money, it just goes to show how like spoilt you are. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. We've gone out of our way for years to show up and support every fashion show, every party, and every press activity to show our perfect family. Yes, that is your job. But the one time my wife asked for my mom's support to save displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mom refused. Your mom don't like your wife. Like, I'm sorry, it's gonna take you a while for you to understand this, but that's how people treat others whom they don't like. And yeah, your mom don't like your wife. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I have been controlled by my parents for most of my life. He has been dependent on his parents for all of his life. And it seems as though instead of healing his codependency, he is becoming codependent on another source, you know, another narcissistic source. So this new situation is not any better. And if his parents were controlling him and he hasn't healed from that, instead he's moved on to his wife, it would be safe to say that yes, his wife is controlling him too, because he is codependent. He needs to realize this. And it's really sad, because all of this is just a manifestation of codependency coming out. Like, it's probably not even his fault, and he doesn't even realize that this is going to happen as a result of his codependency, because he was on one team for all of his life, never thinking of himself, only ever thinking about his parents, because his parents cut him off because he married someone they didn't agree. And now he has been transferred into the codependency of somebody else who may not be thinking of what's best for him. And now he's been put in a position where, because of his wife, he's had to fully cut his family off, not just privately, but publicly as well. For the first time in my life since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose and have found peace and relief. Well, I'm really happy for you, bro. Peace and relief is the goal here, and it's good that you're happy. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family. Well, if that's what you really want, then you should not be posting this, because now everybody knows what's going on and your dirty laundry has been aired, and peace, privacy, and happiness is not the results, is not what's going to come out of this. But on a good note, now that everybody knows who you are, you can prove yourself and make something of yourself. Not that you will, because you've already married a billionaire heiress. So yeah, it's so messy, but you know what, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I still relate, because she sounds like a monster-in-law, and like that's such a big thing in, you know, the daughter-in-law, Desi Safir. No one ever looks at it the other way. You could also have a toxic daughter-in-law too, and I don't know who's right or wrong in this situation, because I don't know anything about the situation other than what he's posted. Like, clearly there's some stuff that's happened that is not being brought to light, so because of that I don't really have an opinion on who's right or wrong. So the only person who I could say is wrong in this is the husband, because he should be defending his wife and his family, and he should be able to say no and stand up for himself from the very start, but he didn't. And he didn't make that relationship between his mom and his wife a good one, and it was his responsibility to do that, and he didn't do that, so it's his fault. But yeah, that's my 2 pence. Thanks for watching. Bye.